Hello and welcome to another episode of Wisbech Workshop. And gosh, I'm still getting used to saying that. It was a pretty cloudy day, really nothing to do, so I figured why not do a video. Now, my last one was of a Hornby crane, which is just sitting around the corner here as I pull it out. But primarily it was of these. The little wagon that hooks onto either end of the crane. Not exactly sure what they're called, but now I'm working on the track cleaning cart you saw in the background of my last video. This, I've already taken it down to its components, fitted new couplers on and just waiting for the glue to dry. Alright, now I think we'll start out by whiting out these windows because there's going to be literally nothing in here, so why bother have anything to show? But hang on, actually tell a lie, I wouldn't say nothing. I'm going to put this bit of sanding block in. Now this is what's used for sharpening knives and stuff. I'm just going to place it in here with maybe a bit of blue tack to hold it in, and that's just going to weigh it down. Probably a good reason why I'm using I'm going to white out the windows. So we'll just grab the paint, as well as my glasses so I can see what the heck I'm doing. And the autofocus is going in the spaz mode again. Terrific. Now, I don't know if I have the exact white, but by the looks of it, it's painted on the outside anyway, so I'll just follow suit and carefully paint along the outside, because I want it to be a nice snug fit when it goes back in the coach, because these windows are what hold the roof onto this. And I have the windows the wrong way around. Oh, at least they won't seal on me, so it holds down like that. The windows, though the roof's on backwards, they slot into the holes here. And will the autofocus actually stuff and work for a change? Man, it's really getting on my nerves. So just pull that apart. And now to get to work. So got a wee tin of white paint here. And since it's gonna just be these that show, I can actually be quite very generous and not very, well, tact, I think the term is, with the paint, because I could just grab the brush and just go like that, just along there, whitening out the windows. Because I don't know if the paint I have will match what's on here. Oh, only one way to find out. But just a bit of added precaution, I'm gonna put a bit of tape along the rim of the roof, because though I'm gonna paint it silver anyway, I don't want to have to deal with white paint, because that's a pain in the backside to paint over. So just grab the tape and carefully just put it over a lip over a certain amount of the roof, fold onto the, and just, you know, do it like that, very nice and tidy, and just fold the lip over onto here, the inside here. Very nice indeed. Now, it's not exactly a cutting edge job, but it makes it clean. Makes it clean and prevents any future mess, so I like it. Now, this is actually a trick I just thought of, but if anyone else uses this type of trick, I massive respect to them. And before anyone starts making claims of this technique on YouTube, I'll gladly check the date of when they put the video out, so I can call BS if I have to. Now, I can't exactly tell how long the clock on the recording's going because of the white of the thing, because I have it facing towards me so I can actually see the screen. If you're first time viewing this, I use my phone as the camera. It's got a quite good camera, very good quality. So I use it. Okay, that's that. Now just to fold that rim. Alright. Now normally when I do something like this, I'd have something in the background on the TV behind me playing, but due to the light it creates, it's kind of blinding, so I decided not to. Maybe in an update video, sure, but workshop ones, it's quite debatable, because I could always just flip the camera over so it faces that way instead of that way. Which actually, now that I think of it, ain't a stupid idea. Why the hell didn't I think of it before? Hold on a tick. Okay, and we're back. Now all I did was just flip the camera from here to there. Now I'll just move this wee gag I got here out of the way. It's just something for when I put the tram on display or something like that, because the tram logos and that did have bells, so you know. So yeah, just put that back there. Now to get back to painting. I'll put the tape away, don't need it now. Alright, that's good. What I like is when you're done you can just peel it off. Alright, time to get to paint. Ooh. It's sealed pretty tight. There we go. And I definitely have not used it in a long time, so this should... Ooh. Yeah, I definitely have not. You can tell when you haven't used enamel paint in a while. When you start to stir it, it feels quite solid and chunky. I think the first time I ever used this white paint was to give the roofs of my my tramway coaches here the original roof coat paint. So I'm actually hoping when I apply the silver to the roof of this, it will give a bit of a dark silver appearance. Not entirely sure how it'll look, but you know, anything's worth a shot now. Just dump this old toothpick in the bin. Seal the lid. Man, that is really snug fit. I mean, wow. Grab through the junk. Simple wee clamp, because I do not want any spillage on my layout. And I think I'm bending the clamp more than sealing the paint tin, so oh boy. This is not a way I would really use, but when I have to. Now on the baseboard it's more solid. Normally I'd chuck it in the vise to clamp it down, but it's currently being used as a jig. Bother. So, hang on. I may have to cut. Hang on a tick. Back in a tick. When I get back, hopefully the paint's all mixed up. Hi and welcome back. Now, I was able to finally seal the lid. It turns out I had to cut out a lot of the old dried up paint, like this. Nasty. Which, some of it still had a lot of wet paint on it, which did not really do me any favors. Now it's all shaken up, so we just take off the lid. And it looks okay. It looks okay. I wouldn't say it's an exact match, but I want to use enamel instead of acrylic paint because this stuff dries a lot faster. Just grab a bit there. Now, I'm not too confident because I haven't used white in a long time, but yeah, this should be okay. Now I'm just going to give this a nice light go. Get in between the windows first, then I'll work on the windows. Now it's kind of hard to see how white painting is going, but yeah. Especially since I'm going white on top of white, but bear with me. There, now we can actually see some progress. There we go. Now I don't want it to look smart or anything like that. I just want to make sure the surroundings are done before I can do the main. Now, whoops, got a bit on the tape. Now, the main I'm actually going to be very, very careful with because this is what shows on the model. There we go. And as you can see, it's quite a creamy milk white color, so very creamy, very creamy. All right. That's starting to look all right. Now, I'll just grab this clamp here and just hook it on. There we go. That way it gives me something to work with when I paint the other side. Excuse me, I got a slight case of the hiccups today. I'll just lean it against on the bench here and get to work. Just doing the perimeter first. Oops. I'm beginning to suspect when I last used this paint, I may have watered it down a little when I did the coach roofs. But yeah, should be okay. Now I may actually do this coach in a 2-part video, as there is a lot to do on it. So I gotta be fair to viewing. Plus the fact it's almost, well, lunch time, so a fella has to eat. Oh, and well, since we're on the topic of doing modeling and that, I recently saw a video by Matt Slade, and he has really changed his layout. I mean, wow, I'm surprised. It is highly impressive. It's beautiful what he's done with it. Matt, keep going with the eBay buys if you want, but what you're doing with your layout is just beautiful. Alright. Just give it a bit more in the windows so it's actually quite solid instead of almost transparent. I think what I'm doing is a term called layering, but yeah, I like it. Alright, that looks good. I'll just pop the lid back on and get the finish. god dang hanger. Now, one thing I don't like about where I just positioned the camera is it's a bit unstable. So if the camera falls, I'll do my best to catch it quickly as I can. Now I'm just giving a heads up about what's going to happen this month. And I'll do that in another video now I think of it. Because it would be a lot easier, simpler. But yeah. And since the brush is still wet, I'll just use that to clean the paint off my fingers. There we are. Nice. Now, what I use as a thinner, it's just standard paint thinners really, turpentine. I don't know what it's called in the States or in the UK, but I just call it turpentine. There we go. Ooh, that's... I just noticed I heard of a green one, but a white one? Hey. Gosh. Gosh, gosh, gosh. And not only is it getting rid of the paint on my thumb and fingers, but it's also getting rid of the grease in that from when I was at uni yesterday. For those who don't know, I study engineering, mechanical engineering to be exact. So, hey, hopefully one day I'll build myself my own locomotive. Miniature one, of course, but probably a 7 1/4 inch gauge one. So just pop the thinners over there. We'll drop the lid somewhere where it can dry nicely. I may have to redo there, but I'll wait till it dries first. I'll just plop the lid somewhere to dry. I'll just actually leave it here. And in part 2, I'll get to work on painting this coach, which means all the labeling here, all the canary yellow, gone. The underside I'll paint black, and up here I'll paint it this very nice burgundy-ish color, so it matches the coach. Thank you. This is part 1 of tramway coach paint off.